What is going down, everyone? It's time for Mojobreak.com, The Hype. Episode 362. It's update series release day. Paul Skeens. We need a song for Paul Skeens. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about Costco, GameStop, Orlando, Caitlin Clark, some baseball, and Mercury sales. Not great. We're going to talk about those as well. But if you guys want to get into some basketball breaks over at Mojobreak.com, that's including in the Origins WNBA product or Impeccable Noir. We're breaking all of that stuff. We've got a 10% code off, guys. Use code HOOPS10, and it's a flash sale, so you can get 10% off on any basketball break. Get ready for the NBA season over at Mojobreak.com with all the newest releases. Like I said, you can use it on Origins if you want to chase some Caitlin Clark. If you're into chasing some Wemby, you can use it on that as well. So perfect time to get in some basketball breaks as the season starts. Dan, Wemby, Mercury. Yeah.
I think we're sponsored by Homage.
Oh, yeah, we are.
Yeah. We're all wearing the same shirts.
I don't have my Homage today.
Oh, well, yeah, you didn't get the memo.
Didn't get the memo.
It was in the report I sent out earlier today.
Damn.
Yeah, Mercury, huh? Mercury?
Yeah,
I mean, I'm still a big fan. We're out of it. We don't have any more.
Yeah.
We sold it.
With 40 cases
sold it.
in one day.
Probably good that we sold it. I'm super surprised at the secondary market, but I also think that it would have been smart for people to maybe hold on to the individual cards a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, that's one thing that I will, pat ourselves on the back here, as you can see some eBay data on the screen. If you had a single color RPA number to 99, probably shouldn't have put it in the C of all the single colors to 99. Now, I know if you only have like $4,000 in your bank account, you need that money back. I understand everybody's in a different position in their lives. Are you guys still getting sound at this point? I hope so. Yeah, I hope.
Yeah, they're getting
okay. Still getting sound. I mean, you can see some that have went for like 8,000, 3,000, but there's some lower end sales on these RPAs for 2,200, 2,100. That's bad. I mean, that's not what people thought they were going to go for. It's not what the basketball RPA market goes for. I mean, we're talking about like Paolo Banchero, like who wasn't even half the player that Wemby was like a $10,000, $20,000 RPA.
The other issue is that look how many cards RPAs. Whatever happened to I need to get it graded?
Yeah.
We're like, no grading on the Wemby Mercury. This needs to sell raw, baby.
Yeah, that's the thing that something to keep in mind. These are all raw sales. Yes, they're all in mags, so you would assume they should grade well. But I would be curious, one, to see the first that is a highly graded, first like PSA 10, BGS 9.5, the first one of that. What does that sell for versus the raw? Secondly, to defend, last week C-Rad was maybe a big defender. We put up the clip too on socials.
Well, he's so sad he's not even here today.
I know.
You know what I mean?
He can't show his face. But I think though he was saying that it's going to be flooded to start, and you're going to feel like, oh, there's so much on the market. But then give it a few months. We're going to see him play. It's going to thin out a little bit. Cream of the crop, rise to the top. And if Wemby performs like we expect him to, these cards should perform better as time goes on throughout the season.
Yeah, because it's clearly a buyer's market right now, not a seller's market on the singles.
A lot of panic selling, I think, is what we're seeing.
My question, does anybody collect anymore? Does anybody buy to actually hold on to the card, or are we just selling everything that we have once we get it?
I also don't understand that. You would think there would have been an absolute flood to PSA. Like, I need to get these. I need to get the first. I need to get these graded. I need to get these out in the market graded. Doesn't look like anybody sent them to PSA. Doesn't look like anybody sent them to Beckett. Nobody sent them to SGC. Nobody wanted to get these graded. They needed to. Even the base cards. The base cards, I figured most of them, especially the non-numbered base cards, those would have all went to PSA. But they did not.
They didn't.
They didn't.
That's surprising.
It's, you know what? I just looked it up on eBay. I was going to filter results for graded, and doesn't even have the option. When I search 2024 Topps Mercury, don't even have that option.
Wow.
Maybe I got to do a little more digging on the search, but you would think that's a big enough net, 2024 Topps Mercury, that you would get at least a couple of graded cards as part of your search results, but nothing.
And this is the problem with the way the industry's gone, is that everybody that bought spots were intending on profiting off of the card rather than holding on to it, right? So it's one of two things. They either had to sell it because they don't have any money, which is concerning for the hobby in general, or they thought it was going to be double their money and they just went for it, and they obviously all got disappointed in the fact that they all paid more for the spots. Now, granted, there has been some that sold for $15,000. There is some that sold for $7,000 or $8,000, $9,000. There's some ones in there, but the complaints I'm hearing, and I don't know if the hobby self-polices itself, regardless of what we say, regardless of historical data on RPAs of players like this. Unlicensed trash, unlicensed trash, unlicensed trash, unlicensed trash was a resounding, negative about this product in the hobby.
You think that affected the market on the secondary market because everybody was, I'm not going to say everybody. There was just a section of really loud voices that were making sure they were being heard, and it sounded like everybody was saying it. But let's face it, it wasn't the community as a whole. It was really loud, small percentage of people who were posting and making and basically telling everybody that narrative.
Yeah.
That you don't want this. But like I was saying before, unlicensed trash, unlicensed trash. You can't compare it to anything else because Wemby doesn't have an autograph that is licensed. He doesn't have a auto relic, not an RPA, just a rookie auto relic.
Rookie auto jersey or rookie auto relic?
Yeah.
Get that correct.
Yeah, you don't want to. You got to ease up, pump the brakes on it. I will still call it an RPA. I don't care. But there is no licensed RPA, so you don't have anything to compare it to. You don't have a National Treasures RPA you can go purchase, and if you did, it would be $20,000, $30,000, $40,000.
Right, but I mean, to counteract what I think also happened was when you get I keep using Paolo Banchero, but let's go backwards to Luka year. There's 99 RPAs in the product. They're not all coming out at once. There's going to be 2 or 3 here and there that pop out that get sold. So the buyers that are wanting to buy that card are competing on 2 to 3 cards. This was almost like that man-made fishing pool where you're pulling out RPAs. You know what I mean? You're not going to the lake and you really have to try to catch a fish. You're guaranteed to catch a fish in the Wemby product, right?
Actually, so, I got a question for you. So in the 15, 16 years we've been doing this, could you remember a product release where you can go on eBay after the product and see as many of the same cards on eBay?
Nope.
That wasn't like a flagship product?
Nope.
It was insane. It was at one point I was like, like you said before, is anybody actually collecting? Is anybody getting their card? There was so many cards that were listed on eBay from the Mercury product that were not even close to being in hand. They haven't even left the Breakers shipping department.
Do the Spurs not have any fans?
How many sales did we see in the first few hours? Yeah.
How many listings did you go on eBay and you're like, that's a screenshot?
Yeah.
That is on a Breakers card stand. That's not even in hand. At some point, wouldn't you think the smart move would be like, okay, I'm going to let the first flood of cards go and then I'm either going to send this out to get graded or I'm going to wait until the season starts. I'm going to give it a month, give it a couple months when you're not competing with 30, 40, 50 auctions at the same exact time.
It's like
the same exact card.
It's like when we went to Staples Center and there was 50 hot dog vendors all selling the same hot dog, dude. How are you gonna sell your hot dogs when you have 50 competitors? It just doesn't, it's got to throw in a food reference, but
it's a lot of hot dogs.
It's a lot of hot dogs, but if he goes on an off day, he's the only one selling it. He can probably sell a lot, right? If he doesn't have any competition.
Sure.
So
you're talking about the bacon wrapped hot dogs.
Yes, they just smell good
on the like.
They're always enticing. Yes.
Yeah, on like the.
And then they're
grill
all
there
on a cold night too. Yeah, it's good.
to mention that, you get overwhelmed. I got overwhelmed. There was 50 hot dog stands. How do I pick one, right? So the same people.
They're all pretty much the same.
But that's what I'm saying. You go on eBay and you see 150 Wemby RPAs. You're kind of overwhelmed.
I'll
Which one
tell
do
you right
buy?
now, this is how you do. You basically you go stand to stand, get a hot dog at each one.
Right. That's what you do.
Take a bite out of it.
Yeah.
Go to the next one, take another bite.
You
and
gotta
then-
know.
Yeah,
It's the only way to know.
You'll be able to taste the 50 different hot dog vendors, and then you'll be able to make a decision. You probably don't want another hot dog at that point, but you'll know for next time which one you're going to go to.
Well, at that
maybe
point,
ever.
you may never want another hot dog. That's
Then
a
you're
lot
Joey
of hot dogs.
Chestnut.
I knew there was going to be a Joey Chestnut reference.
Got to throw in the
Then you're
goat.
just desensitized.
I mean, he is the GOAT.
He's the goat.
He's the GOAT. He's the greatest to
is.
ever do it.
Yep.
Greatest athlete of all time.
Greatest athlete of all time. And I think we've said that multiple times on this podcast.
Yeah.
He is quite possibly, there's nobody who's done anything better than Joey Chestnut. He is the greatest. And he's from San Jose.
He's from San Jose.
He's from San Jose. One thing San Jose can do
Eat.
is eat.
And it's not just him. There's multiple. There's like a few.
Stoney. Matt
yes,
Stoney.
Matt
Yes.
Stoney.
It's kind of like I don't like when I realize that I'm like, is this a source of pride? Is
No,
this a source
100%.
of
It's a training ground. Like
embarrassment?
if you
I
are
don't
serious,
know.
if it's we're the mecca. We're the mecca
Yes.
of competitive eating.
It's true.
If you ever are in another part of the country and you're like, my calling is competitive eating,
Yeah.
you need to move to San Jose, California.
Right.
Yeah.
Because if you can do it here, you can
can
do it anywhere.
It's like
You
Hollywood.
can eat here. You can eat anywhere.
It's
like
like,
Hollywood.
it's like Hollywood.
Yeah.
It's like if you're a independent country musician, you're like, I need to go to Nashville.
Right.
Well, we are.
Right.
We are the Nashville of competitive
You
eating.
aren't truly a competitive eater until you can take out a Burrito-Zilla by yourself.
Yeah, if you're, you.
Yeah. I mean, and to kind of finish up the Wemby product, we were wrong on the initial sales of the RPA, but to back us up, we did say don't list in the sea of listings. To list every single, like everybody has their stuff up, they're competing against each other, there's not enough money to go around. But I also wanted to point out the negative complaint about, so we could never be happy as a hobby because, you pull an RPA of Luka, like I'll use a Luka example again, it's like, oh, well, it's just, it's a nice patch, but it wasn't game worn. So, he didn't wear it. So it's just like, player worn crap. So then Topps comes out with a product that is all fully game worn. And people are like, well, it's a freaking napkin. It's just a white piece of material. It sucks. Can't even call it a patch because it's just a white napkin. Well, they had to purchase a whole game used jersey. They're not just going to use the prime patches. They had 4 jerseys to work with. There's going to be a lot of them that are white patches. So you got to, as a collector, do you want, Wemby to put on 100 jerseys and they're not be game worn and you have a sick patch in every single card? Or do you want a game-worn jersey? Because if you have a game-worn jersey, there's going to be a lot of white patches. Yeah. But to that point, the prime patches should be worth a lot more, right? Because there's going to be a lot fewer of them.
For what it's worth, looking at, and this is only eBay listings, but not a ton of prime patches on there. Not a ton of multicolor patches on there.
The debut game is going a little higher.
Right.
So.
Debut game's going higher, so maybe we just haven't seen those surface yet. People who act, those are the ones maybe people are saying, I got to hold on to this.
Is
who knows
Topps
what's
saving some of those relics for another product?
Possibly. I mean, but what are you saving it for at this point?
I mean, no, supposedly there's 2 logo mans in the product. Right? And I think there's at least 3 games that they use for jerseys.
We also haven't seen any of the dual auto. I don't know if we've seen any of the dual autos sell, have we? I haven't seen any.
There was one that ended yesterday. It was the Jason Kidd.
Oh, that's
to
right.
5. I think it went for like $7,500, which, I know we're really spending a lot of time on Mercury here, but we've got, Caitlin Clark to get into along with Costco and
Jeff Wilson
and
pulled
stuff.
one.
Yeah, he pulled a redemption.
On a plane.
On a plane. But
On a plane.
Here's my thing. If they did the EQL, there's 300. We know there's 3,000 boxes made. There's 3,000 boxes of Mercury made. Why have we not seen one LeBron? Why have we not seen any logo mans? Yeah. Where are they? Did they only sell half the run? Because we haven't been offered it anymore. How many boxes have been opened? Don't know. But there's no LeBrons. There's no logo mans. We did see the Nike Jumpman auto pulled on preview day. So where are these? I mean, do people have unopened boxes still? I don't know. I'd like to know, if you had to predict before we move on from this topic, how many boxes have you think have been opened of Mercury?
Less than a third.
think so. So you think like 900 boxes?
Yeah.
Okay.
I honestly think there's a lot of people who purchased to speculate and keep it sealed.
Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah, if I had to say, maybe 25% of the run I think has been opened.
Yeah.
And I don't think you're going to see a lot of it opened now. I think, unfortunately, with the influx and what people are seeing on the secondary market, you'd be insane to try to sell a box right now.
Yeah. All right, let's move on to some other topics. GameStop is now going to be accepting PSA submissions in store, which kind of pisses me off, to be honest with you, because this is like, you've had shops forever, and I know we're a fairly new shop. We've only been around for 5 years. And yeah, we've had some in-store submissions, and we have one coming up. But like, why can't we do it in the shops first? Why do we have to go all corporate on you and do GameStop? Like, I mean, maybe there was a sweetheart deal from GameStop, but like, how many collectors are going to go into GameStop to submit their cards?
Well, we've seen them sort of slow roll this whole really kind of doing a slow rollout for all this. Like when we all made the jokes about like now you can trade in your cards for game credit. You can do all this. Oh, now actually you can buy stuff there. And now it's like they are fully going into like we're video games and we're trading card games and
But
we're
they're barely video games.
Well, at this point, yeah.
So I think it's let's not be scared of GameStop.
No.
I'm not scared, but like we should have some kind of like if maybe not every shop, maybe like somebody that just started last week or only does a certain amount of volume. But I think there should be programs in the shop to be done. And I know it's up to us possibly to do that, but like maybe some support from PSA to be like, hey, let's roll this out for your shop every week or something. I think we could focus on that first, but I think GameStop probably made this happen because, yeah, frankly, who knows how long video games in a physical format will sell.
That's the thing.
GameStop is alive today because it was turned into a meme stock.
Yeah.
It's pretty much.
So, I mean, it was on before that, GameStop was literally on life support.
They have been given a second life, and now they're like, well, we just saw it. We can't keep doing that. Like, we got lucky. We have to figure out a way to survive. So, clearly, it's either they're getting creative and they're the ones pitching all this, and they're like, sure, you're a big enough name. Let's roll this stuff out to you guys. Notable that in that deal, customers can drop off their cards at select locations. No submission form required. No minimum cards required for submission. And customers can submit in-store without a PSA membership.
So you're just like, here's my card.
Yeah, you can literally walk up and be like, yep, I got 5 cards here. Here you go, and I'm ready to send
Can
those
I just
out to
stand
PSA.
at the door and just throw it at them? And
Do you pay them money?
Yeah, you still pay a
How
fee.
do we okay? And if there's no you're not filling anything out, you're not doing it, how do they know the fee?
That I believe that I'm looking up the article right now where it had all the
I honestly
minute details.
I don't know if I trust somebody who is not in the card industry to take my card and hope that they're going to submit it properly to PSA.
Yeah. Estimated
Has to be a little
turnaround.
bit of a concern, right?
This comes from collect.com. Estimated turnaround for orders for sports.
7 years.
Other card grading category, by the way, because they are really trying to lean into TCG. Sports is other card grading category. It's not even sports. It's just everything else. Estimated turnaround for orders under both categories is 45 business days. GameStop's prices are competitive when compared to submitting directly. PSA's current TCG bulk service level, which requires a 20-card minimum, is currently $14.99 with Collectors Club membership. Cheapest service level value, let's see. According to GameStop's FAQ, the cards will be mailed back to a physical location where they're going to be picked up, sold, or traded in, or traded in for store credit.
So GameStop is now a hobby bulk submitter.
Yep.
That's
what it is.
But their new business model is to be
What if you bring in a
bulk submitter.
$20,000 LeBron?
Yeah, that's
Can
where
you
I'm
do that?
like, I don't know what happens there.
Okay.
It's still a little. The details I think are still need to be hammered out a little bit. Oh, here you go. Service will be available for TCG categories at $15.99 per card with a declared value of $200 or less. So it doesn't sound like if you have a big card, they're going to be like, yeah, no, that's not our game here. We're doing small cards. Sports and other categories will cost $19.99 per card with a declared value of $500 or less.
Why would you spend $20 on a $200 card maximum?
Beats me.
I mean, I guess you got to find that
Yeah.
perfect.
Well-
'Cause if it's a $40 card, you're not going to submit it for $20.
So you could get it back and then just give it right back to GameStop.
Okay.
Apparently, GameStop Pro members will receive an extra 15% in cash or store credit for graded cards as well.
Gotcha. So you can hit the jackpot and turn it in for some
For a PS5.
for GTA 5
Yeah, or GTA 6 in
or whatever it is.
2075, whenever it comes out.
All right, I didn't even talk to Dan about this. This is completely reactionary to this. Mojobreak Shop in Santa Clara will now be buying Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo, and Nintendo cartridges for store credit.
Ooh.
You can come in, bring them in, and we'll give you store credit towards your boxes.
And we don't
because we're going to compete with GameStop,
and
baby.
we have no idea how much we're going to spend on these. We have no. It's going to be anywhere from $1 a game to I don't know, like $7,000 a game. We have no idea.
Bring it in.
Actually, what we do have is we have a custom Magic 8-ball that we just shake, and then it basically tells us how much we're going to spend for your game. So we just shake it and go $8. We shake it, we go $2.
Yep.
Yes,
Or
that's
it'll
what we're
say,
doing.
ask me later.
Just come in and
Ask
make
me
sure,
later.
make sure you ask for Shane when you get there, if you're bringing in your video games.
You got, and hopefully you got some time to sit around and talk for about, I don't know, 4 hours.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm saying right now, we gotta combat this, right? We gotta combat this. We gotta start buying old video games.
Yeah.
And we'll buy it for store credit. You get your optic box. You know what I mean? You just turned in Mike Tyson's Punch Out, and now you've got an optic hobby box.
And
Maybe
it-
not for the exact
yeah.
amount.
I'll tell
but,
you, if,
know?
if we're getting Mike Tyson's Punch Out, and it better come with that like plastic dust cover that all the Nintendo cartridges came on, because if you don't have that,
I don't think anybody remembers that, Dan. We're too old.
well, if you don't have it, don't even bother.
Yeah.
Don't even come in.
It's not worth it.
do we blow in the cartridge to make sure it's not got a lot of dust in it? You know what I'm saying?
Dude.
Still works.
No, you blow in the cartridge, and then you have to blow into the NES itself.
Yep.
Like there was a lot of blowing back in the day.
Mm.
And that's exactly what GameStop did to PSA.
Not even. Didn't even script it like that. I
Nah,
mean,
just
it's hard to
worked
do.
out.
Hard
Just
to
worked
do.
out. So Fanatics Orlando is canceled.
What?
Yeah. 'cause-
Postponed. I believe,
Postponed. I
yes.
shouldn't say
What?
canceled, yeah.
Postponed.
Now, it makes sense why we were going to have the great EJ and Lance on the show. I didn't get a call back. I figured out why. Because you got some time to think about it now. Because we're not doing it until I think January.
January. I don't know if the date's been specified, but yeah, January is all we know.
Do we know why it was canceled?
And I kind of get this. I know
Is
there's
it
people
weather,
saying
weather related?
right. I know that there's some folks out there saying things are reopened here. Like, yeah, we're still recovering and all that. There's places that are still really recovering, and our hearts go out to everybody. This is a lot
Yeah.
of devastation. It looks terrible in parts of the state. But there have been a lot of folks responding saying, for the most part, life has gone back to some sort of normalcy. So there's some people a little surprised that they pushed it. I think, though, for them, they probably did the calculus of like, could we still do this? Yeah, we could. But does it look great after 2 major storms where,
Probably not.
yeah, it just doesn't look great? I know there's some people saying maybe they're not selling enough tickets and all that, but which maybe
Yeah,
that's true.
that's what I've heard.
Yeah.
Or there's another card show that's happening at the same time that they sold a lot more
Yeah.
tickets.
And
Oh,
two,
the-
if it's a
The,
local,
the Dallas card show.
that too. And if you're trying to make this like, I think this is going to skew more towards it being a local show. You want to get people in the state. I don't think a lot of people there are worried about going to this show right now. They got a lot of other things on their plate. So
Yeah, I mean, if like we were going to go no matter what, but like our crew, I don't think I was going personally, but I think as a customer, you may have thought like it's too soon. Maybe you were thinking about going. So maybe there's that cloud. Like say you're coming from like Colorado or something, you were going to go, and you're like, man, they just had a lot of storms there. I don't want to be like, have to get on a plane. There'd be another storm, or stuff gets canceled. There's all those fears. If you wait and there's no storms for like 3 or 4 months, then maybe January would be like, okay, it's been clear for a while. There's not going to be. It's not hurricane season anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe that's what it is. Who knows? I mean, it was a pretty. We're looking at 2 weeks away from it happening, so it was kind of pretty late notice, I would say, because we thought we were late in booking the flights. We literally booked the flights the day before they canceled. So luckily we were able to get that refunded. But so no Fanatics Orlando, and I've heard the LA one's canceled.
What?
Somebody told me that they're not doing LA anymore. I don't know if that's confirmed.
wow. Well, yeah, that would be breaking news. We would have to look that one up. Don't even know. Well, that was never even officially confirmed.
It was on their TikTok.
Oh,
Was it?
No, it
Yes.
was
Oh, truth.
some days.
Well, look at me. Look at not going on Fanatics. TikTok.
What?
We'll have to. We'll do a
I
little
don't-
more research. Yeah. Is it happening? Is it not?
Well, the Upper Deck event is still on.
Yeah. Where's that?
There you
When's
go.
that?
That sometime in January, I believe.
So we can just tell you that you can't sell stuff in your store for 6 months again? Is that what the
That's-
message is going to be?
General 3 days of what you can't do.
I mean, you can sell it in your store, but you can't sell it online.
Nah, 3 days of what you cannot do.
So we're going to sell
3
you
days
this
of red
pro-
tape.
We're going to sell you this product. You're going to stare at it for 6 months because you can't sell it. You know, and I mean that's a whole other thing. I know they did it last year with Bernard, but like the Sharks finally got like the
guy.
actually the first overall pick ever they've ever had, and not in Series 1. So gotta wait. Series 2.
So there might be.
He probably has canvas cards, right?
There's. I mean, might be a redemption in there. If they did what they now, I think Bedard's a unique situation where they're like, we have to make sure he's in. This is the guy for the first guy since Connor
but
McDavid.
who's the guy in Series 1 then?
Connor Gauthier, I believe, is Anaheim Ducks. I should know this because I went over all the names for our promo. Yeah, he's the guy for the Ducks. They're all guys who debuted second half of last year. They're not, so all your series
But
2 will have
but
Macklin
going-
and Will Smith.
Yeah, but going back to previous years, I feel like the number 1 pick generally was always in Series 1.
I was going to say,
And
it
the
doesn't
last-
feel like
David
this has
was for
happened.
sure.
The last 2 years, now we're like not. Well, I think Austin
Series 2.
Matthews. I think Austin Matthews was also in Series 1.
Part of that has to be the delays.
And I believe if we can go back, Jack Hughes. I think Jack Hughes was Series 1. So like, what is going on?
It's got to be the delays. It's got to be their calendar of like they are catching up by saying this is Series 1, 24-25, but maybe any other year it would be like update.
We all saw the draft.
Yeah, there's no
The
back
draft
to the
was in the
Fanatics.
summer,
Yeah.
early summer. We had some time.
Had a lot of time.
We
Had a
knew,
lot of time.
We knew who was going to be the first overall pick.
We'll
We
see.
knew.
I mean,
We also knew that he was going to automatically make the team and make his debut.
right.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. I know they can't put guys in. Hockey's the only weird sport that they have to actually be on the ice at some point.
Yeah.
They can't put a rookie out if he's in the minors or whatever still. But yeah, we knew that Scalabrini was gonna. Is that his name? Scalabrini?
Celebrini.
No.
Celebrini?
Not
Close.
Brian Scalabrine.
Yeah.
Macklin Celebrini.
Yeah,
Brian
I'm acting
Scalabrine.
like I'm an expert on this.
Uma
I can't even
Oprah,
say his
Uma
name.
Oprah.
But
He's a little banged up.
or I
Short
mean,
right now.
is there a possibility
Stinks.
that we're like, hey, orders are in for Series 1 5 months ago? We're like, we're gonna get some because
Well,
that dude's gonna be in there.
I'll tell
And
you.
there's no checklist out, so
I'll
we're like,
tell you
we're
right
gonna get
now.
it, and they're like, Series 2.
I'll tell you right now.
Series 2.
So-
And they're like, oh, but I already ordered 20 cases of Series 1.
So
They're like, what can't?
I'm
no
very,
takebacks.
I'm very good about following up on our Upper Deck direct orders, and we missed it. We didn't get the Series 1. We did get 25 cases.
Oh.
So we actually did not get Series 1 direct from Upper Deck.
Oh. Well, I
So-
think we have enough.
Yeah, so kind of got hooked up.
Got hooked up.
Hooked up by not seeing the email.
For what it's worth, I have seen redemptions, number 1 pick redemptions out of MVP hockey, 24-25 MVP.
We did get that.
We did get
We
that.
got that direct.
So if that's the case, you would think they should also have some stuff maybe for Series 1 that they can do the same thing. So maybe we'll see it pop out. Maybe we'll see another draft night, Celebrini SP like they did for Bedard.
You know what? Now I'm going back. Now I'm actually the last. You know what's different about the last 3 years and all the previous years of hockey flagship is that now they have the extended series,
That's what it is.
and they did not have the extended series before, and they have to be able to spread out these rookies through 3 releases as opposed to 2 releases. And just so happens, like the last 3 years, I don't think the number 1 pick has been in Series 1.
No. Well, you know what also it is we know as dealers that our Series 2 allocation is tied into our Series 1. So if you're a businessman, you're going to make people take the crap stuff first where the guy's not in there to be able to get the good stuff. So if you come out with the Series 1 first and everybody gets paid and we sell the Series 1, and I don't know if he's going to sell because he's a shark anyway, but say that happens, then everybody's going to be like, pass on Series 2, who's in there?
No, well, at least direct. I just did our Series 2. and we got the same allocation that we
okay.
would have before.
Well, the distros are like tying it together.
Yeah.
So
the
know.
the distribution. I mean, well, they got to make their
They don't want to hold on to series
they
one.
got to make their money.
But update series is out. I ripped a few boxes today. It's like 6 of them, and it's been actually pretty good. The jumbo had 2 autographs, had 4 hits. I love the inserts this year. I think they put a little bit more into update series. Also, the thing to consider with update series is when you're buying complete sets, these cards will not be in there. So they should have a little bit more of a lower pop compared to the guys that were in Series 2 and Series 1 that will come out mass-produced in complete sets. I don't think they have an update series set as I know it. I mean, don't put it past them. But should be a lot lower pop on a Paul Skeens compared to a Churio or whoever came out in Series 1.
Well,
right?
that's something I found out when we put up our preview box that you can also watch on Mojobreak Media, is Jackson Churio's base, even though he had a chrome base, his actual base as part of the Series 1, Series 2 update is in here. It's an update series. Because we pulled one and I went, oh, that's weird. It's not marked with rookie debut or anything.
Same thing with White
I just didn't even think about it. I was like, oh, yeah. Because he's been in everything
I
basically.
didn't see too many of them today that weren't.
They're not that
debuted.
many.
So maybe they short printed him.
Yep. So there's not as many of him. Obviously, he's had chrome already. That's
why I couldn't
probably
sell the
not as
Brewers
big a
today.
deal, but still.
Yeah, that's probably why I couldn't sell the Brewers today. People knew. But yeah, I mean, it's a good set. We're breaking it at Mojobreak.com as well as Fanatics Live, and good thing about update. And I actually could not believe today I'm on Fanatics Live, and I kept getting the question. I kept getting this question of do you guys ship the base? And I'm like, yeah, you guys. This is we're talking about a base product. So I was told, and I don't know what breaker it is, that you buy the Pirates and you don't get any base schemes. Because the base sells for $100 separate. So you buy the Pirates, you get all the skeins, inserts, all that other stuff. But the base cards go to the all base spot that they sell for $100.
Like the paper base spot.
Which I think is crazy. I understand the business dynamics. I get why they do it.
I get
but
the
like,
shipping logistics. I get it.
But
I get it, but
I just don't know how you sell the Pirates and you make it clear, unless you're saying it every 5 seconds to everybody that comes in, that, oh, yeah, that's a nice schemes, but you're not getting that because that goes to the all base spot. So, like, what if you don't get a parallel? It's just like you do a case and you get 4 or 5 skeins base cards, and then you just don't get anything. I mean, that's just like, putting a piece of meat in front of a dog and then just taking it away. I mean, it just kind of sucks, right? I mean,
taking a look right now, I'm seeing, these are by now, so, take it with a grain of salt, but base Skeens selling for about $8 to $10 for a base of Paul Skeens. That's going to go down, but that's what you're holding back from those guys because you don't want to ship base.
Yeah.
No, they're still shipping the base. They're
shipping it to one person.
Honestly, it's a way to get more for the case.
That's well, there you go.
Well, that too, and then they just have to stack the inserts that need to be sorted, and then the bulk goes out. It's like Pokemon. The bulk goes out to one person.
Yeah.
Whatever
Don't
floats your boat.
Don't spend $15 on a baseball Skeens. Just pro tip.
Yeah.
Then you will not have to do that in about, 24 hours.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Let's get into some Origins and some Caitlin Clark talk. Origins, the first product that came out today, and I've been seeing some, Caitlin Clark autos. As we know, she's a Panini exclusive, so you'll only find her now in Panini products in the Indiana Fever jersey after this historic season, and they should be in demand. I mean, what do we think? Some of these autos will end up at from Origins. I now Origins is not the one that you're going to want, but
it's Origins. I mean, once I think Select is going to be.
Who wants ice cream?
What I was like, what is that?
It's the Ding Ding Man.
I don't know if anyone can hear that over, but yeah, we got the ice cream man right outside.
This guy's all over, man.
Why
he
would
talent.
there be an ice cream man in this complex?
I have no idea.
Do you see a lot of kids playing out here?
No, but who says an adult can't enjoy an ice cream cone? I love a good ice cream cone.
They've got us. They come down my street.
Chocolate dipped?
It's not an ice cream cone, dude. You're getting like the.
No, it's a soft serve truck. I know the Ding.
Yeah, there is like a special soft one.
No, you're getting that stupid Pink Panther
with the bubblegum eyeball.
This guy's legit, dude. He has a whole soft serve.
Hey, even still, give me an ice cream cookie sandwich. I'm in. Yeah, those things.
Like an It's It.
Oh, loving It's It.
I mean, back to food here, but it's actually an incredible deal. This guy parked down the street. We all walked down there. It's like a pretty hefty sized cup with like Oreos all in it. It was like $5, dude.
So he's making back alley McFlurries.
Pretty much, yeah. You can
Cool.
get you can get like Reese's
Black
on
market
it.
McFlurries.
back alley McFlurries.
Or you can get the cone dipped in the chocolate. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah,
so good.
it is really good. It's not on the diet, but yeah, it's really good.
Come back. Ice cream. Well, they're gone.
So Caitlin,
that is the first. I've never heard of an ice cream man that is doing non-prepackaged ice creams.
Yeah.
he has that too, but like the draw is like, oh, you get
Yeah.
the fresh ice cream. It's
Yeah.
like they have the machine
It's
in the
like,
truck.
yeah,
Like-
the whole
like-
allure is it's like an old school
like-
classic ice cream.
Push pop, and then you get like
Yeah,
you
yeah.
have like the crybabies.
Yeah.
That
Nope.
you can get, and then you have.
Now, do you need a?
Not here.
Do you have to get a? So this
you used
guy
to be able to get the bubblegum cigarettes.
Oh yeah, candy
yeah,
cigarettes.
That,
Candy
was,
cigarettes.
that was
Can't get those anymore.
I remember candy cigarettes.
I waited for those.
I was probably the last. Yeah, I might have been the last. Generation. to
Guess
get
what? I
candy
smoked
cigarettes.
cigarettes after that, so it worked. It worked.
guess
Brought
it
to you by
worked.
Marlboro.
Roll them up in your sleeve.
Yeah.
Yep. That's right.
But yeah, back
Put
to
one in your ear.
back to Caitlin Clark. So there's two autos on eBay, both from China, and it's one's a insert auto, $710 with 3 days left. The other one, numbered to 25, is $1,400 with
With
3
bids?
days left. Yes, with these are all bids. There are the only ones that I see up there so far.
Might be the best-selling Origins in history.
Oh, I mean, almost certainly. I would say. And I mean, it being the debut.
That's why I literally got an email from a distributor today that that case I offered you yesterday. Oh, there's been too high of a demand. I had to. You can't get that case now.
Is that what you were told?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah.
Unless you wanted a double or triple.
Oh no, I can get it. I can get that same said case in probably 3 days, but I can't get the case for the amount that I agreed on 2 days ago.
But you can get some national treasures for all the Pokemon you bought. That was awesome. Yeah.
Oh, different distributor.
Yeah. Okay. So we've got the Dutch auction for Select coming out tomorrow. It's starting actually at $3,500.
Not a penny less.
$3,500 is where the Dutch starts. If you're not familiar with Dutch auction on Panini, it starts, it progressively goes down. You have a 2-hour window. Starts at $3,500 and it goes down, I don't know, $50 to $100 every 5 minutes. And then you get it bottoms out at $749. So the cheapest, if it lasts that long, the cheapest you can get this box of Select FOTL WNBA, Caitlin Clark's first Select, is the cheapest you can get it at $750. I don't think it's going to last that much.
No, well, I'll tell you right now, it's perfect because everybody is going to see these ridiculous prices on the Origins early auctions.
Yep.
And this is going to sell out at probably $3,000.
That's crazy. Is there any value in that?
I mean, it's way up there, but I would still argue. I think like if Wemby doesn't exist, Caitlin Clark is the biggest basketball prospect NBA WNBA this year, and I don't really think that's an argument, right?
Yes, but it is a category that nobody pays attention to.
Not yet. This is what they're betting.
And I
But you
love
can't-
I love
but
I've
you're
been
not
watching a
gonna be
lot
able
more
to-
women's basketball.
You're not going to have a Caitlin Clark come into the draft every year.
No, but at the same time, I think the prospects for WNBA right now are really good. Where you have next year, you're going to have Paige Beckers, who is another big name, Juju Watkins, who is by accounts of all, tons of scouts are saying she is going to be at the same level as Caitlin Clark at the end of her college career, set freshman records. So you're on a path here where you can see down the road, like there are already big names that are already set to hit the draft 1 year, 2 years from now. You have some built-in stars. You have a really good rookie class. This is it's the first time we're ever going this high with WNBA. But I think though,
Sounds like Cody's a buyer at
I'm
3,500.
I'm kind of in on this right now.
3,500.
Let's be honest.
3,500. He's hitting.
I don't
that.
know if I'm in at
He's
3,500.
hitting that buy it now button tomorrow at 3,500 as soon as it goes live.
But am I bullish about the future of WNBA products? Yeah, definitely.
I mean, it's safe to say it will not hit 750.
Probably not.
Well, I saw Blowout and Steel City had hobby boxes, unless it's their FOTLs, but it didn't say it. Didn't
No,
specify it, but
I
they
don't-
said 749 is what I saw.
Which
have
is
it listed.
crazy because in a normal, like, we can't sell WNBA. Like, they only made 4 products a year. They're going to make a lot more. Now, this is the inaugural Select. But we know in the hobby, Select is second to Prism. Prism WNBA hasn't sold. And I know there's one player, but I refer back to the first year. The inaugural year of WNBA Prism was in 2020 with Sabrina Ionescu.
We did
So-
well. We did well with it.
We did well with that. But if you look at her prices right now, I'm seeing PSA Reds. No, these are not autos. Actually, I'm seeing an auto sell for $500. Rookie auto sell for $500. I'm seeing a red number to 275 PSA 10 sell for $300. Sabrina Ionescu had a 3-point competition with Steph. Sabrina Ionescu was the reason this product was created. Is Caitlin Clark going to be another Sabrina Ionescu in 5 years? Sabrina Ionescu's in the freaking finals right now.
I don't think though that Ionescu ever reached the even early in her career. One, COVID in the middle of all of it kind of like totally abruptly ended what would have been a huge Final Four run for her and Oregon. But I think that Caitlin Clark came into the WNBA with way more hype than even she did.
I agree with you there.
Yeah.
I 100% agree with you there. But, like, I don't know. I mean, yeah, Caitlin Clark obviously transcended the WNBA. We see the viewers. We see the hype. We see what's going on with the WNBA now. We see the hatred from her to her from other players because she's getting the attention. Did she already win the MVP?
She won Rookie of the Year.
But they're saying
Asia Wilson won unanimous MVP.
Oh, okay,
Yeah,
okay. But she was up for it, right?
She was named to the first team WNBA today. So the only rookie named, along with Asia Wilson and Breanna Stewart, huge, all these huge former MVPs. So she was named first team today. So pretty impressive feat. But yeah, I just think in general, like everything is going up with this league. So it stands to reason that shouldn't this also go up? And we've already seen it. She's one of the most graded athletes of the year so far, and that's before we even got WNBA pro stuff. And I'll even go a step further and say I think that the next few names, someone I think we're sleeping on is Cameron Brink. I know she didn't play, but she has a huge social media following. She's a hugely popular name that I think will also be maybe the second name that people are collecting. Obviously, Angel Reese as well.
And she's been pretty big on social media, too.
Yeah.
I keep seeing images of her doing nightlife stuff and going to games and really trying to boost up her name and her
Again, we have to see it to believe it, right? We have to see it to
rep. You
believe
see the same videos I've seen? Yeah.
Yeah. We have to see this to believe it. But I think that there is a ton, like everything is there for this to be a huge moment in this hobby. For these products.
There's actually, I mean, there's probably not a group breaker out there that supported WNBA and has ripped as much WNBA as we have. But we get back to the distributors playing games. I think we got like 20 cases of the first Prism WNBA. I think we're getting like 1 case from each distributor of Origins this year.
And then Select might even be worse.
And Select is going to be worse. I'm like, this is the game. This is the game you play. It is what it is. I literally get told, and I've been told this for well over a decade, support us as distributors. Support us. Overall spend. We're partners with you. And now it's like we don't give a crap. We are basically going to take the product, give you nothing, and tough. And that's where we're at. So as far as like bending over backwards and support distributors,
Now we're just bending over.
nah.
But I got one for you guys.
It's two-way partnership.
So I want to ask a question, everybody. Is Caitlin Clark the second rookie to Wemby right now in the basketball market? And I want to know, where would you buy the FOTL Select at? What price do you think you would get in at it? Or maybe you don't even want to get in it at all. Maybe $750 is too much. But I want to hear in the comments below where you would buy FOTL and where does some of her autos go for? What do they go for out of Select? So we will see that. We will have to see what's going on with Select Autos. I mean, you're going to get you can kind of reverse back to DECA, right? And there's some sites out there that have some great content on this. Run Good Life did a video on this that they predicted there's only about $1.5 million worth of these of the FOTL that hit the Dutch, right? That hit the Dutch auction. So not a lot of cases because there is guaranteed number to 6, 7, whatever the numbering is on this. They don't make a lot. But does this set the precedent and allow people to raise the price on the mass-produced version? Because we know on Select Hobby WNBA, probably 10,000 cases, maybe more. 10,000, 15,000, I don't know. There's a lot. So you're not going to hit the same rate of the blue. Because you watched DECA FOTL, it was like, holy crap. It was like Luca Auto, blue Wembys to 7, like just insane amount of color on the DECA. And then the Hobby comes out at the same time, started at 3,500 and went to 750. And people just got absolutely murdered on it because they were thinking, well, the FOTL sold out at 3,500. So if I'm in this at 2,500, I'm going to do well with it. Well, no, now it's at 1,100. It's at $1,000. The Hobby's like dropping because they made so much of it. They only sold it direct. Now, this is sold through distributor channels, so it is a little bit different on how it's going to be. But the DECA, people got crushed on DECA. Now, there was also a lot of other Wemby out there. There was already Wemby Prism. There was already Wemby Select. There's a lot of other products of Wemby. Caitlin Clark, this is going to be her first shiny licensed Indiana Fever card for now until Prism comes out, which no doubt Prism is king. But for now, Select will be king for the next few days. So it'll be interesting to see, how the Hobby takes this and how these prices will continue to rise. What do you think?
Word.
Where would you buy it at, Dan?
In between 15 and $2,000. But
I think that's too much.
No, I mean that's what it's not gonna hit 1,500. It's I think you're onto something. I think they made so few cases of first off the line that it's gonna artificially inflate the regular release.
But this is a group breaker product. And how many WNBA teams are there?
13? 14?
I think there's 15, 16.
So right out of the gate, you're going to have to cut it up 16 ways if you're lucky, right? You can't cut it up 30 ways.
You're gonna get this is what you're gonna get though.
12.
Remember,
There's 12.
I'm gonna send you.
There will be 15 by the end of 2026.
I'm gonna send you back in time, Doug. I'm gonna send you back in time to 2016.
Okay.
Okay.
All right.
Cowboys. You had the Dak, you had the Elliott, and you had Cowboys.
Yeah.
Well, there was group breakers that were splitting up the Cowboys 3 ways. You'd buy the Cowboys spot, and that was all other Cowboys. You would buy the Dak Prescott spot, and you would buy the Ezekiel Elliott spot. I could see the same exact thing happening.
But who do you want on the Fever besides Caitlin Clark?
It doesn't matter because you can capitalize on the Clark spot, and then somebody will buy the Fever spot.
Which does, I mean, Aaliyah Boston was the Rookie of the Year last year on Fever. Don't think she even had autos in Prism last year, so that would be the allure of that. But you're right, that's probably what is going to happen.
Or
for 12,
for
12
talking,
teams.
I
right.
mean, I forgot what year we're in. It'll be the Caitlin Clark spot serial number down to however many spots. 10 minimum, maybe 100. Who knows?
We talked about it maybe a couple weeks ago, but like you're going to have to like get like 80% back from the Indiana Fever or Caitlin Clark spot. Maybe 90%. You almost got to break even on that spot. Now I know Cameron Brink should have some hype around her. Angel Reese will have some hype around her. But beyond that, I mean, it is the first select, so I mean, if they do a good job of putting like Sue Bird in there or whatever, right, you'll have some of that.
That's, I think, the thing to keep. I mean, I don't know how much heavy lifting that does. It is the first version of Select for a lot of stars who have become a lot more popular in the last year and a lot more name recognition. So that should help. I mean, and then kind of also explains the prices of all this stuff as well, on top of Caitlin Clark and all that comes with that.
But like, I look at it this way. I I watched the Final Four for the first time this year, like the WNBA or the women's Final Four, not the WNBA. It was exciting. It was great. So I'm like kind of like if it's on, and I have if it's not football season, I might watch it. I haven't really watched any WNBA games, even with Caitlin Clark. I've seen highlights, of course, on SportsCenter. But I put this back to soccer, right? Soccer is supposedly the biggest sport in the world. What category does that perform at for breaks? 5th, 4th, maybe ahead of hockey?
It's probably on par with hockey, depending on what is going on. If there's like the Euros going on or something going on, you always see the spike. But if there's no big tournament going on, generally,
do we think that all these people that collect Ohtani and Wyatt Langford and the baseball cards and football cards are going to be cool, I'm going to buy a WNBA box?
Yeah, but if you're living domestically and WNBA season's going on, you're going to know when you can watch a Fever game.
Yeah.
You don't know what time are you going to have to wake up to watch a Manchester United game?
No idea.
That will always be the thing that keeps it, at least international soccer, sort of as niche as it can be, at least stateside. And I think the hope, too, is that you're getting – because I think you are seeing the crossover of guys who are basketball first, number one. Basketball is – and it's, you see it on social media, the people who are just like, I only consume basketball. And now it's become a year-round sport because of the WNBA. I think you're counting on those collectors to now get in on that. I know a lot of that is international, too. So does that translate over to WNBA, the international collectors for basketball to WNBA? Remains to be seen, but I think that's kind of what maybe they're going to count on.
Believe me, don't get me wrong. We talked about it 2 months ago. I want this to be a staple, that we're getting releases every year. I don't know. I don't know yet. I mean, this is the perfect player to build the hype, which was what we're seeing. But we're seeing boxes. I mean, Revolution at WNBA, $60 a box. Now we have one that's $1,000 a box, overnight, basically, in a sense, in this hobby. So I know she's possibly a transcendent player, but long term, is there going to be enough WNBA collectors to keep this hype and these high prices going? That's to be seen. So we will have to see. And like I said, I hope that we're WNBA is as popular as the NBA someday. I want that as a dad with 2 daughters. I want that to be, I want to see that. I want that to translate. But it just seems like it is an uphill battle, and it'll be, we'll have to see.
Yeah, I think everything is there for it to be the next big thing. Sports, collectors, whatever. Good future. The growth is there. They're they're not just oh great, we're really popular and then just don't expand. They're actively expanding right now. It's gonna we're getting 4 extra teams.
Yeah.
By the end of 4 extra teams by the end of 2026. So yeah, go Valkyrie. We're getting them next year.
Yeah,
next summer.
that'll be exciting.
Be cool.
That'll be exciting. They're gonna play at Chase Center too.
Yeah, they'll be
Nice.
Chase Center. I mean, come on, throw us a bone, down here. Let's get the Valkyrie in San Jose, but I digress. Whatever. That's me.
Do we know if any what's Curry's oldest daughter?
Might not have the Sharks much longer. Sharks might not even be here.
Don't. They're staying. They ain't going nowhere.
Everybody's playing at Chase.
Was Riley Curry? Have we followed up? Is she playing some
No
moves? Because that would be perfect.
No idea. But
Get her
that
on the
if
Valkyrie,
that were to
you know?
happen, my God, yeah, the stories write themselves.
That would be amazing.
Yeah.
So let's flip it to NBA, and we got some breakout candidates this year. So who should you guys buy low on in this upcoming season? Jalen Green, Brian Brzezinski, Emmanuel Quickley, Keontae George, or Alfred Sengun? I want to hear the comments below on who you're buying out of these candidates, or if there's one that we missed to drive the hobby.
I'll just say right now, I was looking at prices of Jalen Green. I think his silver PSA 10 Prisms, last sold, according to Card Ladder, was in about 170, 180. I know Sengun is probably he had the better year last year of the two, but hobby's always going to go for the guard over the center. I think, and Houston is a team on the rise. Any rumored guy that's going to get traded, any big name rumored player, I feel like Houston is going to be locked in on a few of those guys come trade deadline. They feel like a team that could shock a lot of people this year, maybe go into that at least play in, if not even go beyond that a little bit and kind of overperform. Jalen Green feels like an obvious guy. He's still selling lower than Cade Cunningham right now, and I know Cunningham had some injuries, and the Pistons are just
I'm with you.
a
Yeah,
mess.
Houston made that run, almost made the playoffs last year. Threatened the Warriors spot there.
Yeah.
I think
Finished over 500 last year.
I think that team's on the rise. I think that would be my pick. I think with Quickly, he's been around for so long. I mean, he was on the Knicks for a while, and Brandon Pozinski, that's still Steph's team. Jalen Green could literally be the face of the Rockets, I think, where you feel comfortable that's your number one guy. And the other guy for Houston, I can't say his name, so I got to go with Jalen Green.
Alperen Sengun.
I like Jalen. I like Jalen Green, but James Wiseman. I mean,
Dan is
can only go
never
up.
going to give that up.
I'll be like, I mean, you can probably. What is his PSA?
Oh boy, I
Rookies
should
go
look at.
for
You
it.
know what? He
I
was
mean-
so not on my radar. I didn't even look
Detroit
that up.
still?
I'll look it up.
But I'm telling you, like, you can't get any lower than
No,
right now,
you
right?
certainly can't.
That's
We sure
my-
he's still in the NBA?
I was gonna say,
That's
yeah.
my,
Who knows?
that's my sleeper pick. Because think about it, you get into it for $1, it goes up to $2. That's 100%.
Okay,
Just came
okay,
out.
okay. Here you go. Rookie, is this rookie year? Yeah, 2021. An immaculate logo man RPA sold for $4,158. So someone still believes in him.
4,000?
4,000.
You just
but a one of one logo
yeah,
man.
no. Let's give me the PSA 10 base Prism rookie, dude. Like,
Oh boy.
we're not gonna
Yeah,
compare.
we're not going crazy here.
But hey,
Someone still believes in him though. To
I'm
make
surprised
that
somebody
purchase.
paid $4,000.
I was gonna say somebody making that purchase is
Could have bought a Wemby.
it's a
Mercury.
logo
Bold.
man.
bold.
What about a Mercury Wemby?
It's bold. Yeah, I think I would have gone
Now,
to Mercury Wemby.
Doug, actually, that's a good question. Is James Wiseman still a Piston?
Don't even.
He is not. You're saying no? We don't know.
Indiana Pacers.
Cornerstone, a blue chip, blue chip of the Indiana Pacers.
You know what some are saying, Dan?
You know what some people have said, right? You know what some people have said about James Wiseman. May be the greatest Pacer ever to do it, and you can lock that in.
That is for our OG.
Walked right
Mojobreak.com
into
customers.
that one.
Mojobreak OG customers right there. And then we'll touch on the. Let's just. Can you name a rookie besides Bronny James from this year's class? Dan, I'll start with Dan.
Well, hold up. There was a draft.
There was a
There
draft.
was a draft, and I believe we were all watching it. Yeah,
I can name one. There's one that I'm high on.
Who was drafted first?
I didn't know I was being quizzed on this. Zach Edey.
Zach Edey went ninth.
Not first, but
He went ninth.
Zach Edey,
But
definitely
boy,
a rookie.
I mean,
But you're proving my point. Is I'm saying, and this is to Cody's
I
point
got
on
his
the
first
notes.
name and last name.
Is this the worst rookie class headed into the class of all time? Coming off the biggest prospect we've had in 10 years, going into this, we know Bronny as a name. We know we got.
Panini's last year.
It's kinda
it
tough.
also speaks to why I'm a little more bullish about WNBA right now because Zach, what is it?
Edey,
Richier,
first overall pick.
first overall pick
His name's Zach
for the
too?
Atlanta Hawks.
The guy I like is Stephon Castle. He was fourth overall pick. Went to the
Yes.
Spurs. I think he's going to be a perfect complement with Wemby. I think that guy will sell. Now he is a Fanatics exclusive for an autograph, so that sucks. But his prisms and selects, I think, will do well in certain numbered stuff. I think he's going to make an impact right away on that young team. That's my guy. But beyond that,
I think this is the draft. This is drafted the big men, right?
It-
Because there was another
yeah,
guy.
Alex
there,
Sarr went second.
There's the other guy from UConn, who is another big
Yeah,
guy.
Donovan Klingen went to Portland.
Yeah, so the year of the big man.
Who do the Kings
Zach
get?
Edey, Devin Carter.
Devin Carter.
Oh, okay, cool. I mean, I don't see him either.
Look,
Is he a big man? Oh.
and this is the last year of NBA licenses for Panini, right? Or is
Yes,
it done now?
I think
I thought you were going to say this is the last year of the NBA.
This is the last year of NBA. Look at that class right there. You telling me we're going to keep
We
going?
are going to buy
This is-
Caitlin Clark now.
This is the
This is it. This is the last year we're getting NBA licensed products from Panini. They are going to have to make up for a weak rookie class with get rid of everything. Everything must go. Autos, everything you've been sitting on. You got some big stickers lying around. Get them out there.
They don't. They
Because,
can be normal
boy,
size stickers too. They don't have to be big
Right.
size.
They don't have to be big ones.
They can just be regular ones.
Because Richier is not good. I'm pretty sure I said it wrong, and I apologize to his family. But that is just not going to sell the products this
No,
year. It's
there
gonna be a
might
little tough.
there might be a diamond in the rough. You know, we weren't really
There always will
talking
be
a whole
someone.
lot about Luka when he was drafted.
Bronny's gonna push the product. Bronny,
Who is a Fanatics exclusive?
yeah, but he's gonna have base cards.
Yeah.
Bronny, based on name alone, he will be the best-selling player.
But he got drafted out of like a participation trophy.
Can
you know what I'm saying?
yeah, but
Panini-
his name is
Right.
he's the lineage of LeBron James.
Can Panini do things like there's nothing against them putting them on the same card with
No.
no autos, right?
Nope. It's they're both players.
They're both
association.
Like a
Players
dual
Association.
patch with both of them, right?
Oh,
like,
that'll
You can do dual logo.
or is
man.
that
There'll be-
pushing it?
No, there'll be a dual.
was gonna
there'll-
say.
there'll be a dual logo, man.
Yeah.
in every
So
in every product.
So that's what it's yeah. I mean, that's what it's going to be. It is going to be how many times can we get LeBron and Bronny on the same card and in a
but
product?
Bronny
basically.
is going to sell just by himself.
You're right. He will. He will.
Speaking on a side note of Panini, did you see that they, unless I got fooled, but they had a dual logo man from the cap that they were selling on Panini Instant of
Oh, it was like a red, yeah.
of Anthony Black and Grady Dick.
Yep.
Oh boy.
I think that might have been real.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
They
but they
did
didn't use that
jersey
pic.
swap.
I know they did the jersey swap, but like they didn't. I don't think they referenced that photo. But the fact that they put them together, they're aware of the hype around the two names.
I'm looking back, by the way, at other drafts, and you guys tell me, since you've been doing this, what was the draft? I mean, because I think when you think of NFL, you're like, oh yeah, the 13, that was tough. Like NBA, was there ever a year that stuck out as like, because you look at this class and it could be like, okay, that class is a little tough. Before this, is there an infamous class? of,
13,
like,
14.
I was going to say it's 13, 14, right? It's gotta be.
Because you didn't have the emergence of Giannis till years later, and
Right.
nobody wanted him at that year. It was,
And even Anthony Bennett was kind of like, him?
yeah, that was the first overall pick.
It was confusing, but he sold decently that year. But it was Michael Carter Williams and
Yep.
Victor Oladipo.
Yep.
They were actually
And Simmons had base that did sell, but he was an upper deck exclusive guy. So we see the fallout of the auto situations there. I mean, I would also I would say that's 16, 17. I'm sorry, I'm jumping ahead.
15,
16, 17 is Simmons' year. Who else did we have? We had C.J. McCollum, Jamal Murray. I mean, which at the time wasn't a big chase. Which one? Jaylen Brown, which he had his peaks and valleys.
Ingram.
But at
yeah.
the time of the releases, there was only really Ben Simmons that people wanted.
14, 15, like Wiggins, right?
Wiggins was number
Yeah.
one, yeah. Yeah, 14, 15
Well, I
Wiggins.
mean,
Embiid, but wasn't that also?
And then 15, 16 was that
That cat.
Cat.
And where was Devin Booker? Was Devin Booker 15, 16 too, or was
I
that
think
14, 15?
He was
15,
15, 16. D'Angelo Russell. Kristaps
Yep.
was there as well.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
there's at least in all of these, like, you could say some classes more disappointing than others, but yeah,
there's going to be
there will be someone.
There's going to be a rookie or a handful of rookies that come out of this year that are going to be decent.
well, and I bamboozled the great Bobby Bones when we pulled that 21-22 box, and I was like, oh, you can get Ant-Man, and I'm like, it's not. Dan's like, hey, it's not Ant-Man. It's like, oh yeah, it's Jalen Green and Cade Cunningham.
Hey, look, we all are high on
We
Jalen
are
Green
now,
right now,
yeah,
so
we are now. But that 21-22 right
Great
now,
buy.
21-22 right now of the last 5 is probably the least
That was a bad box.
wanted. Yeah, that
It was a
horrible.
bad box. So it didn't
big
really
big year for all those
anybody
guys,
you wanted.
honestly.
Anybody you wanted, you didn't get in that box.
No,
anyway.
you didn't.
Big
anyway.
year for all the 21-22 guys, I feel like. I don't know what the hell the Pistons even are right now. If they're going to, feels like that team is lost in the woods. But Cade is, when he's healthy and he's playing, he's improved every year. So We'll see.
Well, let's end the show talking about some World Series and some postseason. I mean, not World Series yet, but the NLCS and the ALCS.
Almost there.
It sucks to actually want to root for the Dodgers, but my wallet says that I want the Dodgers to win because we need Ohtani to become legendary.
It doesn't
for the hobby.
Being a Giants fan, it doesn't hurt me at all. The Dodgers have a bunch of likable players. I said it last week.
Dare you? Truly.
If you look at franchise Freddie Freeman and not say that dude's a ball player. That dude is a
I'll give you
ball
Freeman
player.
and Ohtani. I don't know.
Freeman, Ohtani, Mookie Betts.
I like Boogie.
Did you
Who
approve?
doesn't like Mookie Betts?
Do you approve of their new age Gen Z celebration that they do now? Do you like that one?
I don't even know what they do.
Oh, yeah, the torso, whatever you want to call it.
They hit a home run or whatever. The guys running around the bases, and the guy on deck, they go together.
Yeah. It's something.
You like that? You want to do that?
It's something.
I'm not gonna go. I don't want to go do
Next
it.
time you pull a logo man, you want to go like, ugh.
Let me tell
Might
you.
get some clicks.
And
I
it's
heard
not.
our social media is on fire. What I've been told. So
Let me tell you this, because I knew you were going to say this. Of like, boy, Dodgers kind of have to win to make the hobby happy, right? No, and it's not just because I'm wearing a Giants hat that I'm saying this.
Me too.
If, like, realistically, if you've got an Ohtani card, like, Ohtani's big cards are not attainable for a lot of folks in this hobby.
you want to see the Mets Guardians?
Mets Yankees
see
wouldn't
the
mind
Mets
that. I wouldn't mind
Guardians?
Mets Yankees.
You would,
I wouldn't mind the Mets and
but
the Yankees.
as a baseball fan, you don't want to
Look,
see Yankees Dodgers.
Dan, you're talking to
Yankees,
a guy.
Dodgers.
You're
Yankees
talking-
Dodgers.
You're talking to a guy who watches Australian baseball at like 3 a.m. in November because it's baseball. I don't care who's playing. I will watch it
Why?
because it's baseball, baby. That's why I love it.
When's the last time the Yankees and Dodgers played in the World Series?
That would be the 80s.
Wow.
It's been a long time. It's been a long, long time. Look, Rob Manfred wants it. The Major League Baseball execs want it. I get it. But let me tell you,
You don't.
the team that if you're a collector,
You don't want to see Ohtani Judge.
like, sure, fine, knock yourself out.
Yeah, just-
it's fine. Have fun with it, I guess. Boring. It's the two
Maybe-
best players in baseball.
Maybe he
boring.
I mean, he might actually come out of the bullpen, start pitching to Judge. Maybe Judge comes out of the bullpen and pitches to Ohtani.
Or
I
if
don't
we're
know.
all
I
lucky,
don't
there's
know
a
what can happen.
giant sinkhole at Chavez Ravine, and we never have to hear from the Dodgers again. So I'm sorry, I can't do it. I can't ever be
I'm not
happy
saying I want
for
them to
this
win.
team.
If
No,
they-
Wouldn't you
we
like,
want the
wouldn't you like
Yankees
to
to
know
beat the
that,
Dodgers,
that, that if the Dodgers win a championship, a real one, that wasn't a shortened season,
no,
that-
yeah, it's not a real
that-
one. First of all, It's not
that
a real one.
they had to go through the Giants to get there?
Like
Like they're in the same division, they had to play the
I was gonna
Giants
say,
a crap ton
didn't
of times.
really have to go through. The
If they-
Dodgers,
if
when,
the-
when you
if
say
the-
like they went through the Giants,
if the
yeah, like, yes, they
Dodgers-
went through them like they walked right through
If the
them
Dodgers,
this year.
if the
Giants
Dodgers
had 3
lost,
wins against them
if the
this year.
Dodgers lost every single game they played against the Giants this year, they may have not made the playoffs. How many times they
Which would
play?
have made me really happy.
What? Let me ask you guys this:
I would have been thrilled.
say it does settle, and it's Yankees Dodgers. Who does America go for?
Ooh,
Dodgers.
a meteor.
No, Ohtani. People will root for Ohtani.
So the Yankees are the dealer.
The
You know
Dod-
what's funny?
The
is,
Dodgers roster is. They have a bunch of likable dudes.
but here's the thing. I think 10 years ago, no doubt everyone's rooting for the Dodgers. No doubt about it. Dodgers just won recently. They also just signed the biggest player in baseball to the biggest contract in baseball. Everyone heard all about them all offseason. Like, people got sick of them, and they got all the attention all year. I actually think this is a rare occurrence where most of America would root for the Yankees.
the Dodgers
And the
look-
Yankees haven't won since
The
09.
Dodgers are going to win a World Series, and Clayton Kershaw is not going to make one pitch in the
That's
postseason.
amazing.
And it might have been
pretty
the only.
hysterical.
It might have been the only pathway
be
for them
honest.
to actually win the World Series.
But let me. I have a proposal though. Like, if you are looking at this from a hobby perspective, it's all the Dodger stuff, sure, with Ohtani. But again, the average collector, I think, is looking at a lot of those Ohtani cards and go, well, I can't put that in my collection. Those are just too expensive. The New York Mets should be the team you're rooting for. I'm going to mention 2 guys. Mark Vientos, breakout year, 24 years old, third baseman, hottest hitter all postseason. He had a big grand slam in Game 2 of the NLCS. You can find his first Bowmans in 2017 Bowman draft. I think his Superfractor is basically the same price as any old Shohei Ohtani auto, about $2,000.
Say Shohei?
Shohei Ohtani. Shohei Ohani. I don't know.
Yeah, just generally, you go up to anybody and you're like,
Mark
Mark-
Vientos.
so I have a baseball card here. You can have
Isn't
either
he
or.
married
You
to
can
Kel-
have,
isn't
you
he
can have
married to
Mark
Kelly Ripa?
Vientos, or you can have Shohei Ohtani, and
Look,
zero people are going to be
of
like,
course.
Mark Vientos.
But that's not how this works. You got to spend money. So I'm just saying. Look, that was a Superfractor. You can get that for probably the same price as like an average
You
Shohei auto.
want to
Just
burn
saying.
money? Go buy Mark Vientos.
Don't.
And with
again,
Vientos, he's been in the system. He's been a Met, right? So he's
He's
a Met
been, he's
on
been
the
a Met
2017.
his
Okay.
whole career. 2017 Bowman draft, he's in there. A set that's starting to look a little better, by the way. That was the year everyone was chasing Brandon McKay, Joe Adele. Now it's got Royce Lewis, who's finally starting to break out. Brent Rooker, the 5th best hitter in all of baseball last year on the Oakland Athletics. And our own boy in San Francisco, Elliot
Nobody
Ramos.
knows who that guy
I'm
is.
just saying. But the real guy I want to argue for is Francisco Lindor, who actually I was looking at Card Ladder and looking at like what players are trending. Francisco Lindor, all the stats seem
Has
to
been
indicate.
on cards since we've been breaking.
I know. He's been here for a long time. You know this guy.
2011,
He's a
right?
known entity.
Yeah, we've been opening up and seeing Francisco Lindor since the Lindor truffles.
Right. But all of the trends right now are indicating that he's getting a little bit of a spike here in popularity among collectors.
How old is he now?
He's only 30. I know
Must
it's
have been 18 on that.
he's
card,
he's been playing 10 years. You look at the career numbers and you go, "Wow, Francisco Lindor's kind of on a Hall of Fame track right now."
And so is Mark Vientos.
Yeah, well, so's Mark Vientos. I'm just saying. Hey, in 5 years when Mark Vientos wins the MVP, don't come crying to me. Oh, I should have bought some Mark Vientos.
I want that bet right now.
I should have bought
want
some
that
Mark
bet
Vientos.
right now.
When he hits a walk-off in the World Series, just saying. But Lindor is a guy that I think is super undervalued. I think I saw his first Bowman autos, like a PSA 10. The pop count's like around 100, 110 for a first Bowman PSA 10 base auto, and it's like $500 for it. Where a guy of his stature, where I think he ranks second in WAR since he debuted, he's third in the last few years. That includes the Ohtani years. I know defense plays a big part in that. I won't deny that. But big shortstop in New York who maybe wins a World Series, also makes flashy defensive plays. Who does that sound like? Who does that sound like?
we're not
Oh,
comparing him to
Derek Jeter. Look at the offensive numbers. They're very
really
similar.
thought-
You put 3 rings on Francisco Lindor's finger, maybe second
3
half
rings
of his,
on one finger?
Let's on his fingers.
On one finger?
What if he goes reverse Jeter here? He goes reverse Jeter. He wins the rings in the latter half of his career.
What's
the offensive
reverse
numbers are
Jeter?
better. Saying the latter half of his career is when he wins the World Series, not the beginning of his career like Jeter did.
I
Jeter
feel
won
like-
them all at the beginning.
I feel
Just
like
saying.
I feel like the Mets are like the Bills. Like they're just
Respect
going to
them.
find a way to lose. They're
I
not
mean,
gonna
I
win.
really
don't
thought
deny that.
I really thought you were going to have a big conversation about Pete Alonso.
No,
And
Lindor.
we're not doing Pete Alonso.
Well, see, Dan, we have a 2011 Bowman draft case that I bought for Trout, but now we could just say it's for Lindor.
It's Lindor.
And open it up for Lindor.
but
Lindor.
Pete Alonso's the greatest home
Don't
run
get me
derby
wrong. Yeah,
player
no one's
ever
opening
to-
2011. It's a little tough.
Well, we got the Trout rookies in there, but yeah, I'm sure it went down a little bit now.
Yeah.
But
A little bit, yeah. Trout, old news. Lindor,
Okay,
in.
okay. Lindor. Okay,
Also, Harper isn't Harper in
Lindor.
there too?
I don't think he might have autos.
No, that's right.
Lindor, Pete Alonso, and
Mark Vientos.
Mark Vientos. Is there anybody else on the team that has
Collectability.
Yeah.
And, Luis Angel
or-
Acuna.
or a name?
Acuna. Luis Angel Acuna. Look, you wanted a young guy to throw out there that people have been prospecting on for a few years. Definitely.
Who
the
else
guy.
do they have?
Who else do they have in the lineup?
What are they doing?
They still have
there?
Noah Syndergaard?
They do not. No,
They-
they haven't had him for a while.
They have Zach Wheeler.
No, he's on the Phillies.
Phillies,
He's
yeah,
been
I
on
knew
the
that
Phillies.
one.
He's been on the Phillies.
Do they have?
They got Sean Manaea.
They have Steven Matz.
Matt Harvey?
Do they
No, he
have?
hasn't been there for a while.
Do they have R.A. Dickey? Is he still? Is he
Look.
throwing a knuckleball? What? Who do they have?
They've got Francisco Alvarez, a catcher, big rookie from a couple
Sean
years back.
Manaea.
Sean Manaea is their ace, and he's been pitching like it.
Kodai
too.
Senga.
Kodai Senga. You've got
Jeff McNeil.
Yep, Jeff McNeil, who's been hurt.
Nimmo. They found Nimmo.
Brandon Nimmo has been there for a while. Is very good underrated
Jesse
player.
Winker.
Jesse Winker has been a huge deadline acquisition for them. They were the get hot at the right time team. They've also been really good since
Harry
June, so.
Bader.
But Lindor is.
They got Harry Bader.
They got Harry Bader. Lindor is I know Alonso was the face of that team for a while, but I think I'm very high on Lindor. He's now the face of that franchise. He's the face of that team.
This team really feels like a borderline 500 team.
Should be.
So,
Well, they're the 6th seed, right?
They were the last one to get
So
in.
they're like the Cinderella story going on.
They're the
right
Cinderella story.
okay, well.
Hey, I'm just saying.
Well,
Lindor,
I mean,
he's up there. He's a top 5. There's an argument since he's been in baseball. Not even an argument.
Okay.
Statistically.
So you're starting a franchise. Hypothetically, you're starting a franchise, and Lindor's your guy.
The one guy I can start around it.
Yeah, you can basically get anybody.
The New York Mets have essentially made that their decision,
well,
and
because
look where they are.
Ohtani wasn't an option, but he's an option for you. So you can get Ohtani.
I mean, I'm picking Ohtani, of course.
Okay. Just want you to say that.
Of course.
out
Look,
loud.
Ohtani is number 1.
Well, we're going to see in about, 30 minutes. And the series is tied 1-1. So
Look.
it's a big game. It's a big game.
He's having huge moments in the postseason, too. He had a grand slam that clinched their ticket to the NLCS.
Are you talking
a couple more
Lindor?
Lindor,
Okay.
not Ohtani. Ohtani hasn't done that. Ohtani hasn't done any of that.
He's hit some home runs.
Yeah, but not a grand slam like that in late innings to clinch their spot in the next
The
round.
Dodgers lineup is so good, there's nobody on base for him anymore to get.
Well,
get a
and it
grand
looks
slam.
like so the next 3 games are in New York, right? So they could win out.
They could win the next 3. Francisco Lindor could hit a walk-off homer.
They split that
Send him.
series 1-1 in LA.
All right, so if you're a baseball fan, I think besides Cody, general baseball fans would probably like to see Dodgers Yankees. And if they can't see Dodgers Yankees, they probably want to see Mets Yankees.
Yeah. No one wants to see the Guardians.
And no one wants to see the Guardians.
No one wants to see it.
Dodgers or Guardians Mets.
No. Nobody wants to see it. As much as they're I could sing praises to some underrated players on there too. Jose Ramirez, a deeply underrated player.
Okay.
Doesn't have first momentos. That's tough in the hobby, but
Who else they
super
got?
underrated. I always say Pride of Los Gatos, Stephen Kwan.
Okay.
Josh Naylor, who's been a breakout guy for them.
They got Bo.
They also have Bo.
They got Bo and Josh Naylor.
They don't have Miles, who's playing with the A's organization.
There's 3 Naylors.
There's 3 Naylors.
Dang.
Yeah.
Want to get nailered? Anyways, we'll end it on that, guys. Go
buy Lindor.
Dodgers? I can't say that.
No!
dude.
No!
I can't
No
say it.
Dodgers!
No, go.
I hope they lose.
Okay, go Ohtani. Go Freeman.
No.
Go Mookie Betts.
I don't like movie bets.
I like Mookie Betts.
LFGM.
I like Mookie Betts.
Let's go Mets.
I like Ohtani.
Come on.
All right, guys. Well, that's it for the hype. Use that code for some basketball breaks over at Mojobreak.com. Hoops10, 10% off any of your WNBA breaks, your basketball breaks. Chase Wemby, Chase Caitlin Clark. And follow us, Mojobreak_com on Instagram. And we will see you guys next week on the hype. Peace.